Good point.
So I was like,
let's not bring that up.
okay.
Again.
Okay.
I still have a little PTSD about it, you know?
Wait,
So he's prepared for an Ironman. So I said, hey, Jesse, I have a wetsuit you can use.
Oh,
Dude, it's like I've only used it once.
AZ.
How did you hear it?
Yeah,
I heard, Jesse, I'm really proud of the target that you've set, the impossible goal that you've decided to embark on.
Yes.
Because at that moment, it was impossible for me. I'm gonna do it. And you said, I'd like to give you my wetsuit.
Oh,
Damn,
So much so, AZ, I wrote it in my journal.
How often have you seen me say
I wrote
you
it
can have
in my
this?
journal.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Badass Agents Podcast, where it's real life, real people in real estate. And today I got a couple of guys that I'll introduce to you here in a second. But the conversation will be this. It'll be about living a challenge-based lifestyle. What is it, and how do you maintain it and sustain it to grow, to get what you want in your body, to get what you want from your relationships, to get what you want from your business, get the big bucks, right? Get that money. So today, you'll never see them alone, okay? You will never see them alone. It is like a Bonnie and Clyde type of situation, okay? It's one and then the other. My special guests today are those bros in a pod. We have Rio and Jesse. And let me go ahead and rephrase that. Jesse and Rio, so they don't get mad at me. So I said it both ways. Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming on and joining me for this special edition.
AZ's already trying to break us up already.
Yeah, he's already trying to build that
this way.
I'm a little jealous.
For Sunday, man.
I'm a little jealous here. And, the reason I brought him here because we are on the eve of the big competition. Yeah. So we talk about a challenge-based lifestyle, and it's about, setting a target, right? So I think I just spit all over you there, man. Sorry about that. And with these lights, you can see everything. So I'm going to suck my teeth every few minutes. But part of this challenge-based lifestyle is to set targets, right? To set something that we're working towards. If we don't have a clear vision, it's just like going through the motions. Yeah. You just get up and you're like, oh, okay, what do I do today? But when there's a clear vision, when there's a clear competition that we have to prepare for, like all hands on deck type of thing, right? So what are we doing this Sunday, and how did it come about? Any one of you can jump on in.
I'm going to go ahead and take lead on this one
all
because
right.
It's kind of one of those things.
So just to clarify, are you the leader of those bros in the pod?
No.
He's the talker.
This is my baby as far as Sunday, and then it's turning out to be.
Wait, hold on. So the audience knows what you're talking about. What's your baby on Sunday?
All right, so we've been training for this triathlon that we have coming up May 5th.
All right.
Cinco de Mayo. We all signed up for the Cactus Man triathlon.
The Cactus Man in Tempe. Yes.
Tempe. If you guys want to come out and support us, it'll be Cinco de Mayo. And then I had been doing the work in the pool, man. And then you guys were focusing on the run and the swim. And then I thought I had enough of a gap where I was like, you know what? I can't wait to May 5th. Let me challenge these guys. So then I was like, let's do a AZ and Associates Triathlon.
You're right. He birthed the whole idea. The first annual AZ and Associates Triathlon is happening this Sunday. Now, this is self-imposed. It's not like a organization, and it's not some type of, the third party that came in. We just kind of created it together. We're going to start at LE Fitness here in the Northwest Valley on 83rd and Union Hills. We're going to start there. We're going to do 750 meters in the pool, right? And at first it was 1,000 meters, right?
At first, because I mean, like I said, it's self-inflicted. So I did 1,000 meters first, and then we did it was a 20-mile bike ride, and then it was just real, lopsided in certain areas.
Now here's the thing, though, AZ, is I think that Rio, saw weakness, and I was broken. I just
you were broken.
Competed in a 26-mile run.
Well, go ahead and repeat that.
2 weeks ago.
So Jesse, in case you didn't catch that, Jesse Abarca right here, the good-looking stud in the blue shirt. and I'm describing this because our podcast listeners really like to get an idea of what the environment here is. So I got this spiffy dude here, got a fresh haircut, man.
Fresh haircut just for the show today.
Dude, you look nice, man. The beard's even the beard's on point.
Thank you.
Usually scraggly and stuff, but not today. No, but listen. So I'm very proud of this guy right here. He went out to L.A., his old stomping grounds, and he completed a marathon, 26.2 miles. Why? Because he felt like it. Right? It was a challenge that you had.
In the 4-hour bracket.
In the upper 4-hour bracket.
In the 4-hour bracket.
Borderline 5 hours.
So,
but here's the thing. He did it. Okay, so to bring this all back, okay, so this weekend we're having a sprint triathlon, and we're doing a 750-meter swim, followed by a 14-mile bike ride, then followed by a 3-mile run. Right. Now, Rio brought this to our attention. He's like, hey, we should do one because he's been swimming. He's been in the pool since January.
Right.
So he's got big advantages. So you should have heard him talking. Like, he was just, like, pounding his chest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was, like, all about it. Like, I'm going to whoop you guys. Like, he was showing us his times. Like, we have this Apple
the
activity tracker. And every day, like clockwork.
Little screenshot.
He would screenshot it and send it to us. Like, I'm in the pool, you're not. I'm going to beat you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to beat you so bad I want to do the sprint triathlon, hence the first annual Asian Associates Triathlon. And but his tune has changed a little bit.
And the key word is the competition has changed the tune a little bit because everyone else, since we decided to do this.
And for some of us, it's been 2.5 weeks that we just started.
Some of us 1 week.
1 week. Some of us 1 week.
Some of us 1 week.
So now the bridge the gap has been bridged.
Yeah. Big time.
The gap, it was Rio, like a full-on dolphin. Yeah. To us, like not like amphibians, barely getting to know.
Little guppies, little tadpoles.
Little tadpoles. Tadpoles.
Yeah.
Little, and not the best, but now we've been improving.
Yeah. And that was my mistake, is that I relied too much on the swim, right? And then I'm not going to say that I stopped running. I was still maintaining a decent run training regimen, but it was I didn't focus enough on that, right? So I was like, I got him on the swim. If I build enough of it, and Jesse warned me.
He was betting on a discrepancy of like 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah. But here's what's happened over the last 2 weeks, like. It's only a couple minute advantage that he has over us right now.
Seconds, man.
Seconds. So now, hopefully, your running and your cycling game is on point.
I am. Yeah. No. I ran out. I don't know if you guys saw my activity tracker, but I did a little mini triathlon yesterday or 2 days ago.
Okay.
So just to kind of warm up the body for.
Well, here's this tune, and I know we're a little bit unreal. I know the focus is on Rio right now, but we'll get to Jesse. But Rio, just last week, today, like he was just still. Strutting, pounding his chest, cloud 9, talking about how he's going to beat us by so much. Today, I kind of felt bad for you, Rio. You're like, I'm not going to come in last. Last week, he was like, I'm coming in first. And today, he said, damn, that sounds like a broken man right there, man. What's going on?
I would be arrogant to admit otherwise. I'll just call it how it is. I mean, you're a beast on the run. You're a beast on the bike. So the 2 minute gap that I'm going to have on the swim, it's.
I don't know, but we got like he's fresh off of 26.2 miles. Yeah. So. I think he's still feeling left out, that he's not part of the conversation.
I am, but just mentally,
I'm
just preparing myself that I'm not gonna have any excuse. I'm just gonna go out there and do my very best.
Yeah,
and my best will be good enough.
I think your best will be good, but I think
good enough for first.
Oh, good enough for first.
Oh, yes, wow. I'm in it to win it.
Yeah, man. I don't know, like,
Just you haven't been swimming with AZ. I was out there with him in the pool today, man.
Thank you for that plug, man.
Look, I'm just gonna call it.
You got him mentally already.
No,
I got him.
No. I'm ready.
Even yesterday, he was still like, I still got this. He came in the pool with me today. He was like,
this is what competition does, though. I cut my best time running by a whole minute, right?
That's good.
But prior to that, I just wasn't focusing it. I thought, whatever I was running then, I'm embarrassed to say what it was, but whatever that amount was, I thought it was enough. But now it's like, after I saw that you guys were stepping it up on the run or on the swim, I'm like, okay, I need to go back to everything. And I've been working on my run, and I was able to shave a minute off.
No, you're good. I think you're going to be up there. I think, like we said it, all kidding aside, I think it's the swimming for me is still very intimidating. It's an intimidating place to be for me. And I just don't show it. I don't show it, but it is very intimidating. So I was winded today. As we were swimming the laps, I was very winded. And I know after we get out of the pool, we still have a 14-mile ride, and then we still have a 3-mile run. So I haven't put that combination together in 3 years. And let me tell you about my experience 3 years ago. Okay, so this was my 2 years ago. I'm sorry about that. This was my experience when it came to a triathlon. Like triathlons, a sprint triathlon, most people just do it as a weekend,
like a warm-up.
A warm-up. It's fun. For me, it wasn't. For me, it was like an Ironman. For me, it was like something that was just so above me that I had to put all my training towards it. And I wasn't properly prepared. I just didn't know the transitions correctly. I didn't know how to properly hydrate, how to eat the right foods. So it was a big feat for me to finish this. And I remember watching people that I would just, if you would look at certain people, I was like, oh, yeah, I could beat them, right? I could beat her. I could beat, she's like 80 years old. I could beat her. But I got my ass kicked, and it was because I just wasn't properly prepared. And one of it was the swimming, and the other one was the cycling, which I think we've corrected on the cycling, and I've corrected on my running. But after the competition, I knew I was so beat. I was beat, and I was like, yes, I felt accomplished at the same time. And they ended up giving us a T-shirt. And I'm thinking, okay, this is something that I can go out there and gloat about, kind of like your medal, your 26.2-mile medal. You want to wear that, even on a regular day. You just kind of want to flaunt that around.
Or my 100-mile bike ride.
Or your 100-mile bike ride. You want to wear those things. But when I got my shirt, I don't know if I wanted to wear it. So for our Facebook audience, look at this.
Looks like a kid's shirt from Old Navy.
First of all, look at the bike that's on there.
Yeah, there's nothing carbon about that.
There's nothing carbon. Frame. There's nothing that says that this is an intimidating competition. It is what is that?
It's
like a beach cruiser.
Beach cruiser. Yeah.
Not like a vintage.
Yeah.
Not even it's a vintage beach cruiser, and it says Anthem Sprint Triathlon.
This is the first time I see this shirt.
I almost died. Do you know how I felt after I got this shirt? Thinking
oh, man.
Dude, what the hell am I thinking? What am I doing?
It even has a kickstand. That's how
it has a kickstand. Oh, shit. In a basket.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, your bike doesn't have a kickstand anymore.
No, not anymore. I got a carbon bike.
You got a Ferrari of bikes.
I got a Ferrari of bikes. I got
Cipollini.
I got the gear. It's going to be very different this time.
I am the Ferrari.
Damn. So talk to me, Jess. Talk to me about what's going on in your head, man. And right now we're going to get into real estate. This is about, badass agents. But as you can see why, that we are badass agents is because we incorporate so many different facets of life that there's no other way to describe it. But what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Okay, Jess? So there has been a lot of shit talking going on this past week.
Yeah, especially this last week.
But truthfully, AZ, and on a serious note, real, I'm so proud of this dude.
This dude right here.
This dude right here to my left.
All right, the one that was going to take it 2 days ago.
If whether he wins, whether he gets first or last, dude, I am so proud. I've seen the work that he's doing.
He's done it, man. And not only that, it's been consistent.
Consistently doing it.
You said something the other day that I want to bring up.
He's eliminated that story of I'm not a runner.
Yeah.
He is just... The competition has brought the best out of him.
Absolutely.
And whether you win or lose, which you'll probably lose, but seriously,
I love that. It's like the pat on the back and it's a smack in the face at the same time.
But like I told you, Real,
I love it.
It's you're entering an arena that is not your strong suit, but you're making it become a strong suit by consistently showing up, doing the work every single day. That would be like me entering a weightlifting competition.
Yeah, just to throw it out there, I've been a champion of what is that? That's strength competition. Mm-hmm. Yes, right here. Just to throw it out there, I had my max out on deadlifts, squats, and bench press, and I beat out about 25 dudes. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So it'd be hard for you to compete at that level. Yeah,
it would be hard.
Right.
But the fact that he's showing up, He's showing up and he's going to do his very best.
What is it like? How does that feel, man? To somebody that you look up to, and vice versa. I think you guys really complement each other really good. How does that make you feel?
Man, honestly, like to have another grown man tell another grown man that kind of admiration and appreciation. I mean, honestly, that is a result of the environment that we have, at this company. Like, obviously, we have a friendship, personal, but we also have a business relationship as well. But if that doesn't tell you what we're about here, I don't know what else is. We're never trying to hold people down. Like, we're talking shit. We're giving each other shit about this competition, but at the same time, we're bringing ourselves.
Yeah, because we're not hiding. That's one thing that we do. It's like we want the competition to rise. Like, we're all competing against each other right now, but we all each tell each other exactly what's working for us. Hey guys, like, this is the routine that my coach gave me. Hey guys, like, I'm doing this instead of that. Like, it's constantly put it on the table because I want the best of you guys to be on competition day.
And that correlates exactly with even our business. I mean, we're real estate agents in Arizona. Yeah. A lot of people would think that we're in competition with each other. We share everything that we have. Yeah.
Just yesterday, he called me. He's a veteran agent. He's been in the business for a while, and I come to him for advice all the time. So when he comes to me for advice, I'm like, oh shit, like how can I return the favor? And I gave him some great knowledge yesterday. And it helped him out, and then I'm like, but that's the kind of dynamic that we have. Like, I mean, I'm constantly asking him for advice and vice versa on like the technical side. He's asking me like, hey, because he branched off. So Those Bros in the Pod, we started that together, and then we now have our own separate brands based off of that. And that actually came from a meeting that we recently had where you talked about that. You said, hey, it's great you guys are doing this podcast, but you guys have to have your own separate brand.
Yeah, it's your own identities.
Exactly.
And that kind of ties into like marriage too, where it's like, don't lose yourself on just that. It's about having your own identities, your own goals, your own ambitions, and then coming together, right, more powerfully, right, instead of like always dependent on each other. Because that's what happens. Like, if it's always just dependency, your actions will be based on how the other person may feel, and vice versa. So I'm glad you guys went down that path. But it really is so important to continue to like just be there to raise the standard so that the other person could push those standards.
To see how great you can be.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I love it, man. I love that environment. I think that's what targets do as well. Yeah. There is no way in hell I would be in the pool 5 days this week if I didn't have something to look forward to. Right. There's no way in hell I would show up every single day. I can't hear myself now. Every single day to the office if I didn't have like sales goals that I wanted to meet, right? And that's the whole point of it. We're having a sales.
And you literally, 9 months ago, you gave me your wetsuit. That's how done you were with swimming.
Oh well,
you gave me your wetsuit.
So I have to go out and shop for a new wetsuit.
Oh, that's how defeated he was on that aspect.
9 months ago. So just to put it out there, be careful. That's why I stay away from like letting people borrow things, or especially money, like family members.
I thought we were talking about a gift.
Hold on. If a family member asks for money, right, I have to decide to either say no or I'm giving it to you, because I don't want that wedge of just feeling like somebody just pulled a fast one on me, right? A friend or something, they can't pay me back. They avoid you afterward. So I learned very early on not to do that kind of stuff. Well, I broke my own ironclad rule, okay? I was... Rio came about. Jesse was so pumped up about doing an Ironman. I was rooting for him, even though he didn't get into the water, right? As he was training for the Ironman. Yeah. And part of training for the Ironman is training in the water. Yeah. Right.
Good point.
So I was like,
let's not bring that up.
Okay. Again. Okay.
I still have a little PTSD about it.
Wait. So he's prepared for an Ironman. So I said, hey, Jesse, I have a wetsuit you can use. Dude, it's like I've only used it once. AZ. How did you hear?
Yeah,
I heard. Jesse, I'm really proud of the target that you've set, the impossible goal that you've decided to embark on.
Yes.
Because at that moment, it was impossible for me. I'm gonna do it. And you said, I'd like to give you my wetsuit.
Oh,
Damn,
so much so easy. I wrote it in my journal.
How often have you seen
I
me say
wrote
you
it
can have
in my
this?
journal.
never. I tried to buy a camera off of him.
He
the
tried to
other
buy a
day,
camera
and
off
He's
of
like, hell no! I'd rather have it sitting on my.
Because you
on
never
my-
know. See, I like when I buy stuff. It's
That's
like
true.
So there's two sides to this
Oh,
story.
man.
I said borrow. He said he thought I gave it to him. So now it's a little awkward, So I asked him a few days ago. I'm like, hey, can you bring my wetsuit back? And he's like, you gave it to me.
Oh man, you guys went a whole year with that whole awkwardness. Where
Yeah, I thought-
more AZ than
Well,
you.
AZ, I thought it was. It's just hanging in my closet.
Yeah, man.
AZ's like, when is this dude gonna bring back my wetsuit? That's probably what he was thinking the entire time.
Probably.
That's
I didn't think
man.
about it much. I just remember going into my drawer. I was like, oh yeah, Jesse has my wetsuit.
Just oh no.
Oh yeah.
not
And it's not like I was thinking about it. But you know what? We made things right. I gave it to you. It's my honor to give you that. And if you can,
I came back. I came and I said, "Here, you can have it."
I don't want it back.
back.
By this time, he had already ordered the Ferrari
I
wetsuits.
already got the Ferrari
Yeah.
wetsuits
I
going on.
believe it. I
Or
believe
the
it.
Lamborghini
So,
of wetsuits.
You can have that little wetsuit.
AZ Araujo does not buy just
My-
cheap gear. This is
It's
top line stuff.
But through like a lot of mistakes of buying the cheap shit for so many
Yeah.
years and then breaking apart.
How many times have you dropped that line on us? Even
Oh, yeah.
like even on the podcast equipment. Like we have people that come to us and ask us for advice, and they ask us about like, hey, what mics did you guys buy? And I look, I just bought what AZ bought.
Yeah.
And when I tell them the price, they're like, I'm like, I could have went and researched and spent hours and hours, but I said AZ said buy the best, so we bought these exact mics, we bought these exact headsets. Now I'm not gonna lie, we still haven't caught up to the cameras.
You kind of skimped out on the programming and the
those cameras aren't
and the
cheap,
cameras.
But yeah, no, dude. Honestly,
works.
like that lesson you've taught me, and like even my pool company.
Yeah.
You're like, fire that cheap pool company that's
Yeah.
cost, you're saving $30 a month, and hire the people that I have.
Yeah.
And I take that with me with a lot of different stuff.
Oh yeah,
man.
and what was happening is the cheaper company it was almost like making it
Green.
feel like you were
Yeah.
doing them a favor, huh? Like it was like, oh yeah, well I'm charging you so cheap,
Yeah.
you should put up with my
Like,
shit.
I'll come
I
this
think-
day instead of that day.
Yeah.
I think when he switched pool companies, I think Rio fired his original pool company because they charged him.
That's what it was. Basically, it was like a billing situation where they went and cleaned out after they caused the issue.
After they caused the
Essentially,
issue,
they
then
caused
they
the
billed
issue.
you for
It
the
turns green.
Dude, that's a great business
Yeah,
model.
Yeah.
Hey, let me go break
Break
some
your stuff.
break your windshield. Hey, oh, by the way, I have a windshield company.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like that. I guess that's a good entrepreneur, lane he took. But, these standards are necessary.
No.
And, we're talking about podcasts. We're talking about our bodies and what we're doing to, like, really get in the best shape possible so we can compete at a high level. I think we forget that as we get older, as we become older. As we get into our 30s, I'm entering my 40s, and it's like we lose that aspect, that animal, drive and instinct and it's much needed. Competition does that, and even in business, we all need that. And you guys have challenged yourself to even create your own podcast, right? You guys have Those Bros in a Pod. How long have you been doing that, and what kind of results are you seeing from that?
September.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
And
Those Bros in
Those
the
Bros in
And
the
we'll put
Pod.
that link there as well, or once you're done, go ahead and look that up.
We started that in September, but it was as a result of this challenge-based lifestyle that we live and breed here at AZ & Associates, because we were in a 90-day target that you had to do the work 12-week target,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and that was one of the targets. It was challenging yourself to create something,
Yes.
and at the end of the challenge, we did it. We created the podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
But preparing for that, right?
yeah.
Here's the thing with the challenge-based life. Here's the thing with setting
and,
targets.
And let me emphasize, it's 90 days.
Yes.
Like we live it
12
on
weeks.
a 12-week
Yep.
cycle. Not a year,
Not year.
90 days at a time.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like everyone gets excited about January. Everyone is setting goals. There's different companies, title companies, mortgage companies, real estate brokerages, like everywhere, putting these classes together. But we're done with the first quarter, and there's like crickets there. Everyone's just like, okay, that we set our targets at the beginning of the year. It's like here, it's like bread and butter. Every 12 weeks, we'd all get together and we recalibrate and recommit for our bodies, for our business, for our families, and for every other aspect that we want to improve on. It's like clockwork.
Yeah.
And it's to create this environment of like going after it and not getting complacent, not getting, start building on bad habits and behaviors.
And that's been a huge game changer for me, because I was that guy who would like write the goals out in the beginning of I would write my goals out December the year before, rolling into January. But they were so overwhelming. And then when I would lose momentum or the consistency,
you're just like, Yeah.
I look at these numbers that I've set for my business, for my body, and it was just like, oh my, like
I'm so far behind.
It would overwhelm me. It would stress me out that I would just not do it. Where 12 weeks is a short enough time period that I'm able to make course corrections weekly in order to ensure that I'm on that path.
Yes.
Or that you can fail and forgive yourself and then begin again.
Begin again. And it's real easy because these targets are not so overwhelming. There's something that we could achieve. It's just right outside of our reach at the moment. But at the end of 12 weeks, it'll be within our grasp, right? It's right there where we're holding it. And that's the whole point. So these guys, they decided to go like live every single day. One of the things that you did, right, Rio? Go do a Facebook live post in preparation to be able to host his own podcast. Right. So the reps. So if you go back to Rio's page and even Jesse's page, and you see where they were last year, right around September, right, September, October, you'll notice a significant difference to who they are today. Their ability to communicate, to convey a message powerfully, clearly, it's there. It's not like it just happened overnight, or you just didn't get good overnight. Right. It was like a process.
It wasn't a God-given talent that I was just born with.
No, it wasn't. Now it seems like it. Now you make it look so easy, right?
And it's a growing process because the daily videos led up to the podcast, right? Yeah. But now the podcast is led up to where now I have 3 different episodes that I do per week on my own personal brand. Jesse has his own series that he's coming out with. Had we not been doing the podcast, I wouldn't have had the courage to do that because you're putting yourself out there like you're the authority. Yeah. And that's a big deal to put your stamp out there and say, hey, I'm the authority, right?
Exactly.
Had we not been doing the reps with the podcast, I just don't feel like I would have ever had the courage to do these different, ventures that I have with my own private brand.
Well, absolutely. And then that's in knowing that you can pull it off gives you the confidence that you can pull anything off, like a triathlon, like an Olympic triathlon, like a marathon. And now we're talking Ironman. So it's like this confidence comes from just doing the reps, doing the work, and being able to be in an environment where it pushes you not only to be great in business, like that is a responsibility. We know that. Right. Like you're not going to come in here and not do your job as a businessman, right? That's expected. But can you do all the other things?
Yeah.
Can you do all the other things? And it's like, hell yeah, I can.
Yeah.
And you won't stop me type of thing. It's that type of just
that fire, man.
That fire. I love it.
Shoot, this triathlon is a result of a 90-day target.
Yeah, it is.
It is. At the beginning of the year, we said, hey, we're going to do a Olympic triathlon. And we just couldn't wait until May 5th. We said, you know what, let's get this Asian Associates one jump started.
You saw me wounded and you went after me.
But I mean, and
serial killer.
I love where you're taking it though, man. Like honestly, what other brokerage has this kind of accountability, right? And if you do this and you turn this into a yearly event, the annual AZ or the biannual Asian Associates triathlon, I guarantee there's no other brokerage here in Arizona that's doing something like that.
Dude,
man.
They wouldn't be able to stay up, man. I'm telling you right now.
I would challenge.
Right? We might have to have. I might have to call my broker friends, my broker buddies out there, man. And bring your best, and we'll bring our best.
You might trigger a lot of them.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for it.
We already have one Ironman. You know, he just had a baby though. Congratulations, Craig Morton.
Craig Morton. Oh yeah, congratulations to Mr. Craig Morton. Just had a little Rex, man. Little Rex was born today. He's an Ironman.
Yeah.
So it really is about just going after it. And this energy that you're feeling, is what happens on a consistent basis. You can also see it on the other podcasts with the women that Carla has brought in here. You just see the passion behind it, right? It's not just all about business. It's not about posturing. Like it's about like, hey, this is who I am, and look at me live it powerfully. Yeah. And by looking at me living it powerfully, I hope that encourages you to live you powerfully. And that's the whole game of this. And so we don't know what's on the next venture here besides that the Olympic triathlon. What do you think we should do?
I'm already calling a half Ironman for us.
Half Ironman, okay.
I mean, I think
we did the 100 miles.
Yeah.
112.
Me and this dude right here did 112. He did it at the Tucson Tour de Tucson.
The Tour de Tucson, 102 miles. I would have done 112 if that was an option.
It was environment again.
Environment. So we're pushing it. These guys did 102. So me and Jesse were like, okay, we got to do 112.
Raise the bar.
Raise the bar. So the next step for us is going open water swimming. So I already have my wetsuit coming in. So you and I will now have.
I have my wetsuit.
Yes, you do. You have a really nice wetsuit.
I'm good to go.
And we're going to be at Lake Pleasant?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
We're going to take out the jet skis and we're going to head out there and get it going.
That's where the men will be separated from the boys. That's all I'm saying.
So let's bring it back to real estate now. Like, what has this done for your business? Let's start with you, Rio. Like, where are you at with your business? What kind of goals and ambitions do you have for it? I mean, it seems like you're really busy, but you've created a lot of space for yourself too. Like you're not all stressed out.
Yeah.
You don't have an alcoholic problem.
Absolutely not.
You're not. You're losing weight as opposed to gaining it. And those are all things that successful agents are kind of running into.
I've told Rio, I'm like, it's amazing how he's not an alcoholic.
Right?
I bring in my kids sometimes into the office, and then Jesse's just like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
like,
it's different.
Dad, look at me! Dad, look at me! Dad, look!"
No, honestly, so I was able to increase my total revenue 20% from my first full year in real estate to my second year, and I would say that has a lot to do with hiring an assistant. Right?
Yeah.
That's something that I was really reluctant to do because I was living in this scarcity mindset, right? Yeah. This mindset where it's like, oh, I need to save all my pennies. I got to grab all the money that I can. And then Jesse and I, we talked about it. He had a great assistant. So then he was like, hey, man, he's like, give her a shot, and I did. Maddie, she's also our producer on our podcast show. So she turned out to be.
Which was one of your 90-day?
One of my 90-day targets. Yeah, man. So she's turned out to be more than just my assistant, right? She helps us out with the podcast too. But I definitely would say that having that, doing that helped me out. I increased my business about 20%. I'm on track to do that again from last year, so another 20% this year. But had I not, taken that initial step, had I not set a challenge for myself, I would have never known what that felt like, that freedom. Because now, if I'm out with the family and I'm out in dinner and an offer comes in or a client, wants to see a house, hey, Matt, are you available? Cool. And that's something that I didn't have before. So having that freedom is just, it's just amazing, man.
Yeah, no, that's nice. That's beautiful. And you're building a great foundation that's meant to sustain itself for many, many years.
Yeah.
It's not just go hard and then burn out type of thing. It's about sustainability. Jess, where are you at, man?
Well, let's see. Last year was a great year for me, actually. It was a great year. I was in the top 5% of all real estate agents in Arizona. Good. And this year, we're going to be on track for the top 2%.
Beautiful, man.
I know you challenged me, and you said, why don't we get to the top 1%?
Yeah.
I said, AZ, let's do top 2% with abs.
All right.
I thought that was
you got the abs going already, so now we're just waiting for the 2% projection.
And I thought that was fair. And then for the next year, we'll continue to just raise the bar without burning out, which is because I've done bigger numbers. Yeah. I've done bigger numbers in the past, but then I burned out. Right
now, you're building a solid foundation, and that kind of brings me to the closure of all this. Environment's very important. Being surrounded by individuals that are living it and doing it the right way for sustainability. Anybody can go out there and sacrifice it all to make that money, but the reality is it's short-term, short-lived. There's no way around it, right? So here at A's & Associates, we live by these philosophies of doing everything great. If you're going to do something, just do it all great. And of course, on that path to greatness, you're going to suck. It's going to be tough. You're going to doubt yourself. But there's that constant reinforcement of mindset. There's a constant reinforcement of leadership that you can go on that path and go exactly after what you want. So guys, with that, if you're interested in more about A's & Associates, go to badassagents.com and apply. Take a look. Follow these guys, those bros in the pod. We got Jesse and Rio here, so follow them, and you can see that this is just the energy. And any of our other agents, we have over 120 agents here, so check them out, and you can see what we're all about. So again, if you're interested in joining, go to badassagents.com. Guys, thanks again.
Appreciate that. I'll see you Sunday, man.
Yeah, see you Sunday.
Bring the A game.
We're friendly right now, but Sunday I'm going for the kill.
Bring the A game.
Bro, I'm going to go intimidate. I'm going to stare both of you down.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna put my chest. Your face is gonna be all on my chest. Do it because you guys are shorter.
That's why. Are you gonna be handing me the first place trophy?
If you win,
how is this exchange?
I will personally hand you the trophy, but I will be waiting for you guys at the finish line. So, dude, it's on.